writing is a wonderful creative process where I can write my very own stories. I enjoy writing compositions as it is fun to select the best ideas and create a great story.
I feel that writing is the basis upon which my daughter's thinking, intellect, and work ability will be judged in school, workplace, as well as the community.
I feel that learning the English language well is important for my communication skills, as not only does my teacher correct my grammar and vocabulary mistakes, she also gives suggestions on how to add literary devices into my composition to boost my writing.
Connecting hearts and minds with words to communicate confidently. That is what the right connection seeks to nurture in every child. Their philosophy goes beyond understanding English as a subject matter, but as a tool to higher order thinking and communication. Children learn the foundation of creative writing and beauty of English from primary school all the way to critical reading and writing at the secondary school level.
At The Right Connection, we make every effort to create a loving and non-threatening learning environment. Children feel safe to be immersed in the learning process here. Our teachers embrace the vision of love through detailed and individualized feedback weekly. Our feedback focuses on how to improve and not just to pick up problems. This how-to approach allows students to acquire a problem-solving attitude and habits that will serve them for life.
They do not give number grades to the younger students to ensure that the English language is not seen as a quantitative formula, where one gains merit mainly through the number of memorized phrases or advanced vocabulary they can squeeze into a composition.
Here, praise and encouragement is given for the time spent pondering over the language use and literary techniques during the creation process. The emphasis here is quality writing and not quantity. This means the teachers here spend a lot of time analyzing students' work and their learning needs before recommending the best course of action for their students' improvement.
Using various learning platforms, children in the critical reading and writing classes are exposed to a wide variety of global topics each week. They are challenged to create colorful and powerful imagery. Such exploration of background information helps students to become better readers and writers. Their thought and writing process is further facilitated by specially crafted in-house materials. They are provoked to heated discussions through different media platforms, while learning language associated with a particular event or context. Words acquired every lesson are painstakingly designed into a word list and word quiz to aid retention and accurate application. Ultimately, the goal is to ensure that children can use their expanded vocabulary effortlessly and naturally in all forms of communication.
The journal exercises here help me to better express my thoughts and feelings in words. It also helps me to analyze topics which are often applicable to composition writing.
I like the Right Connections approach because they have a non-formulaic approach to writing, and they've allowed her to develop her own writing style without quashing the voice.
In my opinion, my teacher puts a lot of effort into the comments, and from the comments, I can tell that my teacher is a good writer.
The Right Connection today is a culmination of my own learning journey and many years of teaching locally and overseas. Regardless of experience or educational background, the teachers here go through a rigorous induction program. As part of their recruitment process, they learn our uncompromising education philosophy, culture, and a specific scaffolding methodology in marking.
The scaffolding methodology focuses on pointing the children toward the right thought goals, then strategizing the individual learning paths based on what stage the children come to them in and what their learning backgrounds have been. On top of high academic credentials and experience, the Right Connection teacher displays passion for the subject and a love for nurturing children. They are also able to establish a three-way trust network between parent, teacher, and child. Teachers play a significant part to whether or not the child walks away appreciating the English language for life.
Cultivating the love for learning is important here at TWC. Once I had a student with great difficulties in reading and writing. To understand him better, I communicated constantly with his mum and complemented this with various methods of engagement. After a short period of time and a lot of patience, he became more attentive and engaged in class and showed steady improvements in his reading and writing. His love for language and stories has grown, and we are all so proud of him.
I remember a student who achieved a positive learning attitude after a short time with us. When he first came to the Right Connection, he viewed writing as a boring chore. He was very reliant on memorized phrases. After a term with us, he was no longer hiding behind those phrases. Instead, he became courageous in using his own imagination to make every single piece of writing fun and original for himself. This was certainly one of the highlights of my teaching career, to see a child transform right in front of me.
We do our utmost to give children the gift of introspection and reflection. Beyond academic achievement, we challenge their critical thinking skills and teach them to use language for life.
I like writing as it helps me express my thoughts and improve my vocabulary.
After coming to the Right Connection, my daughter is able to generate more ideas, present them in a good flow, and the content of her composition has increased in a meaningful manner.
In my contact with several teachers in the center who have taught both my children, what struck me was their earnestness in the delivery of the subject, and also the willingness to lend their support to listen to parents struggle on how to make the subject more meaningful for the children. Last of all, I think they have been very attentive and in many concrete ways have created a very conducive environment for my children to learn the language.
English is my favorite subject. I feel it's important to learn, read, and write well because when I grow up, I want to be a dentist and I feel it's important to communicate clearly with my patients.